How quiet should we be?
Today we have with us Anthony and Shi Ying. Right? Anthony is going to talk what quiet confidence means in terms of wealth generation. Jara here is going to talk about quiet confidence in terms of personal branding, and myself, what quiet confidence means from personal development space, from the mindset part, also from the emotional part. So the entire inside out we covered, the entire part of how we want to actually show up as a better self and tap on the opportunities so that we can actually bring in the resources that allows us to live in a very prosperous manner, in a very abundant manner. So it's holistic, it's well-rounded. So what is quiet confidence? And exactly that. Now, quiet confidence, it's about you being so comfortable in yourself that you can be silent at any moment in time. Now, obviously, Jara, it's the loud confidence because she'll be wondering what's happening, why suddenly I stop talking and it's so quiet, and she has to say something from there. Yeah. So quiet confidence, it's there is this calmness in you, there's this quietness in you, and to me, quiet confidence is stillness in flow. What I mean by quiet confidence being stillness in flow, which means to say you're so confident that you do not need validation or the noises around you to validate and give you confirmation, okay, of what you are seeking for. You know what kind of confirmation you seek. You know what is it that you're looking out for that you will need to actually go out and get what you want. So quiet confidence is the stillness in flow, the stillness in you, the quietness in you, the calm, the peace in you, that you'll find that nothing, whatever noise outside, will not shaken you. It will not derail you. It will not drain you. You're so still, but yet you are able to function in flow. Yet you are able to walk the talk that you say you walk. You know that you are not answerable to anyone. You know that you're only answerable to yourself. You take responsibility to doing what you say you do. You build the rapport. You communicate with yourself. And as you do that, you respond to what is around you. Right? You manage your own model of the world in response to what is happening around you. You know so much that you have in you the resources for you to focus and choose and make choices in life. And that is quiet confidence. You show up in a manner that is so still, but yet you flow so seamlessly. Those who are sensitive to energy, they will feel that why this person is so calm. Something in this person makes me feel that this person is so peaceful and that he or she has this stillness in them, that they are so grounded to know that I'm actually moving and I'm on track towards living the type of life that I want. Okay, I have the goals, I have the desired outcomes in different areas of focus in my life, and I know how to get there. Even if I do not know right now, I have the confidence to get there. All right. Do you need to prove or perform what you say or do to another person so that you can validate what you want? Do you have that? If you don't have that, most likely you have quiet confidence. And the other thing is that whenever you carry out certain things, or whenever you express yourself, you know it comes from a space of experience. You know it comes from a space where it aligns with your values and belief system, and it comes from a space where you know whatever it is, I'm going to take responsibility of it.
Every one of us has quiet confidence. It's not something that we need to constantly be the two extremes, either very quiet or very loud. Nothing wrong with being more quiet or nothing wrong with being loud. But the whole core quality of this topic comes from our self-worth, and it's not external praise driven. So quiet confidence means like you know you've done something good, but instead of just wondering how come no one is praising me, right, you are still able to validate yourself internally. Even if you have to say something, you could actually write it privately down in your journal and continue to do good work without even knowing or having anyone take note in order for you to continue on that whatever task that. To me, quiet confidence is the reason why it has to be in balance is because in this time, or rather the era, right, if you don't say anything, it's also a fine line of you doing everything and it's not being recognized. I mean, ultimately we are human beings, we can't read minds, and a lot of us have been too distracted, too diluted, too drifted to be able to, pay attention to anybody at any moment. And you have to tell people that, hey, hello bro, I did this already, what's next, or I'm going to do this next, so that they understand and they remember your efforts in order for them to either, compliment you, or for you to feel like, your effort is not unseen or unheard. And then find ways to work together with people who you think can work together, go beyond whatever that is of a bigger scale. Ask Anthony. Anthony.
Probably coming at the right time for financial world. You know why? Because of Trump. Trump has really turned the whole world around. Most people are so stressed, but of course there are people who are making tons of money out of it. So I think this topic come at the right time. Quiet confidence is that when you deal with money, when you deal with your wealth, you have a perspective of medium to long term. So whenever quiet confidence is linked to my thoughts about finance, then this is the word. Have a medium to long term perspective of what you really want. Whatever you do, don't react to what the world is doing. Reaction to what things are coming very fast. Don't worry about that, because financial games, has been around for a few hundred years. When they set up a monetary system, when they set up how money games, how finance should be work, look at the history. Look at history. History tells us a lot of story. So when you have more knowledge, when you understand how money works, you have certain confidence. Then step back. Don't be too excited, or don't be too disappointed. Whatever situation you are in, many things can still happen. Don't make it worse. Whatever situation you are in, don't make it worse. At least read. If somebody were willing to share with you, listen to the right people. They will tell you the right thing, and then you just ask yourself in your heart, who is the one talking to you, right? But still, the best is read what history tell you. After all this, sit back, have confidence, and don't be affected by the world.
So, sometimes when it comes to money, a lot of us are actually very turbulent, very emotional, right? Based on your experience, how can one person, inculcate that kind of confidence in them through managing their emotions? Because when they are in turbulence, when they're very emotional, when they're lost, or they're very disappointed, or they feel very successful with what they have, they get carried away. What's your advice would be for them to be able to manage that so that they can stay objective and then know what is it that they want to actually re-strategize, or what is it that they should be focusing on to grow their wealth?
I think I use a very real thing that everybody is experiencing it with every day, using it almost, Google Map.
Google Map.
Why suddenly jump to Google Map? Okay, very simple. Let's say from here you want to go to another place, say about 45 minutes later. Then they ask you, the Google Map next turning asks you to turn right, and you miss it. Then, but the Google Map, you realize that they don't scold you. You stupid! No, they don't scold you, right? They say, never mind, the next.
I just hope that AI doesn't develop into that anything.
Anyway, the next turning you turn again, and then they will find you another way to go to there. I use this analogy because financial situation is that wherever you are in, whatever situation you are in, don't make it worse. Maybe you think, oh, this is very bad, this is no good, I'm very stressed, I'm very panicked, I'm very what. But actually in financial is that things already can be very bad, yes. Or things are very good even. But what's next to be better? Always think about it. As I say, go back to the foundation, read more. Not sure, don't move. That's it.
So for someone who is new to having growth, right, to wanting to build their wealth and all.
Young people, you mean?
Maybe you can actually share with us for 3 profiles. One is the young ones, right? Maybe those young adults between 20 to 35. The other one is between 36 to maybe 46, 45, 46. The other one is 46 and above, probably young seniors already. So if let's say right now they life happens. As life happens, sometimes there's ups and downs and all that. If they're going to start from zero, right? For these 3 groups, what would your advice be other than reading books? How do they approach? What kind of mindset they must have to actually approach this? Context of Singapore?
In the context of Singapore or other big cities in the world, I think one of the first is always saving, save.
Okay.
100,000.
And that is for all 3 categories?
Yeah, probably that's for all 3 categories. But of course, in Singapore context, there's a little bit more complication because you have CPF thing, you have this and that. You may have been doing well in housing. You may not have a lot of cash. You may, have a house that even in a house you can be buying the right house and then now you're asset rich. So there are many situations. Let's push all this aside. Just talk about cash. Save until at least 100K. Because if you go back to last week, what I share is that if you have 100K, you just take about 20 over years to become 1.6 million at a 10% annualized return. So whatever start, the first step first, save until 100K. Then we talk about the next step.
So the liquidity is to have cash in 100K. Can we actually, because we have international audience here as well, so 100K is equivalence to 100K in their currency, equivalence in Sing dollar or in US dollar?
US dollar or Sing dollar?
US dollar or Sing dollar. In the meantime, while they actually save up, what else would you advise them to do?
As you save up, of course, you look around what is the thing in your country or in your city that need to be done first. Very simple. For example, some of the things that you need to do first in Singapore is to really buy a house first. With a lot of government subsidies. Citizen or PR or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So in different countries, in different contexts, there always a first thing first. But I think one of the things is forget about, that's my own point of view. Forget about saving in the bank. It's one of the
where
worst.
do we park the 100K?
Now, of course, you can save the in the bank first, of course, to grow the money to a certain numbers. After that, when you want to really strategize about your growth, bank is probably the last place you should do it.
What would you say it's a good resonance or thought process to have to actually find out what is it that is good for you to at least park for now, right, or to do so that the growth towards 100K is much easier?
I think I want to really totally get out of what you were mentioning, the advertisement, because there is something that is driven the purpose of the advertisement. But come back to this society. I think when you raise this, right, something very interesting. Come back to this society. Somebody who let's say your income is 2,500. Maybe after your basic expenses you left 1,500. Let's say But today, if you give 2 different person, one is super thrifty. It's like I make sure I eat and all this kind of thing. I eat below $4, $5 every meal. Very difficult but possible. But somebody who don't care, I never mind lah, just eat lah. $20, $30 per meal. Never mind lah, just take Grab lah, just go lah. Somebody said, every bus, even I count this one to this one, maybe okay lah, I change bus only less than 10 cents, So this kind of calculation here and there, the kind of thriftiness you have in today's lifestyle, because today we are talking about what is the real inflation. It's a lifestyle inflation. It's not about lifestyle inflation. The keyword is lifestyle inflation. Or drink coffee. You can drink really a $150 Singapore dollar one, normal one. But you can drink a $7-8 one.
True.
Imagine you drink every day. The difference is a lot. But there are people who are lifestyles like that. There are people who say that almost every day, don't talk about 3 meals, at least 1 meal I call a Grab food. I call this food panda food. The extra money you pay for that, even no matter what kind of incentive they give you, is because you are paying more. That's why they give you more incentive, right? So every meal you're adding a lot more to your basic needs. So you compare these two person, in the end, who will get rich? How about same pay? Definitely the one who will save. When you come back to the basic is actually your lifestyle. How do you live your lifestyle to save the 100K?
So in order to really beat the inflation without going through the big, agenda, the numbers that is being shared economically by the politicians, by the government and all that, it is more towards ourselves, going back to ourselves, the lifestyle inflation. How are we living our life? How are we spending the dollars that we actually bring back every month? How do we apportion the kind of resources in this manner, which is money, to actually live the kind of lifestyle we want. Now, interestingly, Anthony actually mentioned thrift, how thrifty you are in your lifestyle and all that. So it's more about making choices, making informed choices, and going out to find out what is it in you that you want to experience. How much resources that I have right now? What are the ways and means that I can actually be resourceful for, so that I can go and find the type of lifestyle that I want and live it the way I want. Because I think thrifting in Singapore, it's picking up and actually recycle, upcycle and repurpose. I myself, I like to buy good textile, good fabrics. I like leather goods and all that. Not because I like very high quality stuff and all that. It's because of the sustainability. It's because it allows me to actually repurpose it. It's a longer term use. If I invest in something, I want to use it for a very long time. Whenever a resource comes to us, is being blessed to us, how do we use it to the max? How do we bring gratitude back to what is being blessed to us, and it allows us to be much more resourceful as we go about in using these resources. Because whatever that we thrift here, what the extra resource can be parked somewhere else as well, right? I think when it comes to this topic, thrifting, I would like to ask Jara to share more. She's very passionate because her angle is very different from mine. And as you see, she's very fashionable. She's from the creative side. And in terms of personal branding, it is about being creative and have that quiet confidence to actually show up and allow yourself to express that confidence that you carry in you, that you know it is you authentically. It is you who will show up, and you are showing up as you authentically. And that's quiet confidence. That's one part of it. But let's hear out from Jara on quiet confidence.
For me, right, just now Anthony was just sharing how finance in this modern lifestyle is about what you are willing to pay for. And in terms of saving, how much does it allow you to still also save while you still continue to live the life that you want? Honestly, when he talked about the banks, I was like, yes lah, because as an entrepreneur, self-employed, micropreneur, it feels like the bank is not even helping, just apart from being there. And I'm so glad that there are a lot of other asset classes that come out so that I can, put cash to good use, because these are all our blood, sweat and tears. And ultimately, right, it's not about you going to one extreme of being a stinge, because that is very, very unhealthy. And neither is it good for you to, spendthrift your entire savings and then live for the moment, which everybody also keeps saying. I feel like life is really like a fine balance. And talking about thrift to treasures, why I'm passionate and excited about it, because I've been in the creative industry for more than 10 years, and I value personal and external dressing, styling as part of the non-verbal communication that we call quiet confidence today. But for mine, even if I don't talk, I can actually communicate pretty loudly, and that's how we actually show up in the way that we dress. In the layman terms, we call it fashion. In the layman, we call it style. Okay, so style is something that is deeper beyond just, buying clothes or matching pink for women, blue for guys. So it's not about that. Style is how you carry it. How is it that you feel after you put on certain outfits that make you feel like you can conquer the world, for example. So to me, right, this is often very overlooked. I'm also a professional makeover artist for more than 10 years again. And many people will say like, this color doesn't suit you. For me, the way I think and deliver the communication across is, why should you be set on, staying fixed in a label that other people give you? I'm not saying that it's wrong, right? Okay, where's your context? Where are you coming from? Who are you as a core first? What is your foundational beliefs and values. And then from there, right, what is it, right, that you can use your tools to be fashion is the tool. Or let's all blame it on the weather.
Put it this way, last time I used to dress up. Then I realized that, I'm like overdressing. Because it takes a lot of time for me to dress up. So later on, I just blend in.
Interestingly, blending in versus overdressing versus standing out, right? So the quiet confidence has this stigma of I should not be standing out like a sore thumb. What is should or shouldn't to you? Okay, and quiet confidence, if you understand non-verbal communication and quiet communication in a way that is loud, it is actually a skill set for you to say many things even without you opening your mouth, even you without doing anything much. That one example is the fashion industry, in the styling industry. Because how you look, right? Why should you be subject to other people's label? But honestly, you should also know your labels. Who are you, where you stand, and what is your value in this society? Because if you are so blissfully unaware, which we call ignorance, right? I clap for you because nowadays we are actually living and functioning or trying to thrive in a very complex world. So the whole point of our sharing is not for you to be siloed into a way of just one way of thinking. So in the way you dress, right, without you opening your mouth, as I said, right, without even me talking about anything, right, it will send you a multitude of signals. And then of course, don't hope for everybody to like your way, your style, your dressing, and the way you communicate. And that's where quiet confidence still comes in, right? How do you actually continue to feel good, even though people will say, why you wear leopard print? Even if logically we say, don't be mean lah, people just want to like, play with fashion, right? But subconsciously you're like, this one trying to 好脸, is it? Right? Sure.
好脸 is showing
arrogant,
arrogance, yeah.
This girl, what is she trying to prove? Why is she wearing so fancy stuff? We are only going to the market, right? Not like we're going for some high tea. Then when you go for some high tea, right, you wear nice. Wow, this girl, she trying to outshine me, is it? So going back to quiet confidence, it goes back to who you are, how comfortable you are with yourself. So even if someone were to look better than you, are you able to stomach it or not?
Hey, it's okay what? In fact, if other people look better than me, I was like, good.
Honestly, I really like people who can dress up because it just brightens up the whole room. It shows that we all value ourselves enough, right, to bring some form of some sunshine. And then, okay, it goes back to the quietness of what's unspoken. I'm going to talk about intention. So if your intention of dressing up is to outshine people in a way that is very toxic and jealous, obviously people can sense it, even though we do not actually point it out. But if you dress up because you're very confident and comfortable in your own body, regardless of size, weight, gender, whatever interesting person that you are, do it, and then you just say, I love this kind of expression. I'm just going to show up in the best and most fun way of myself. People can also feel it, and that's the unspoken part about confidence, unspoken part about non-verbal communication and showing up, right? That goes back to your self-worth and your identity. But not enough people can talk about this in a way where it makes sense, because most times when we put it out, right, then we're like, oh, this one she say must like that, so I do like that. Then like, you just go there. This one he says must like that, then I go there. So in terms of what kind of money are you trying to drive for, chase for, is it also on par with the level and quality of the life that you want to live? That is the fine art of balance. Okay, life is about balance, it's about dynamics, it's about up and about down, right?
Anthony last week mentioned something that I actually anchor on. Now, anchor is a word that I use often because I am an NLP trainer and a master coach. So what I actually anchor on is that Anthony actually highlight this, which we usually don't highlight, which is wealth. What does wealth stand for? 3 categories. Number 1 is your own health. Alright? And health to me has 2 parts, mental health and your physical health. And this mental health include your emotional health, your entire cognitive well-being, and your entire unconscious mind health. Okay? That we just put mental health and physical health. The second one, which is part of wealth, which is also very important, is networking. The people that you know, the people that you surround with. Because these people who you surround with contributes to your health, be it mental or physical, and it contributes to your overall wealth because they are the connection or the benchmark of resources that you will be bringing in to your life, that you will be exposed to your life. Now, mind you, it's not only you taking it, okay? We always need to actually be able to give as well. It's all complementary. You don't just take, we actually share resources, we actually give values from the aspects that we are able to give. Why? Because every one of us are unique, every one of us has something to give. Alright, if at a point in time you realize that you have nothing to give, and you can give by giving a very sincere smile or very sincere words or speech to actually lift the person up. That is also giving. Alright, so how you are at any point in time will actually influence the kind of resonance and influence the kind of response that you can actually give to another person. So gifting is not just about monetary only, it's not just about materials only, it is how you are able to give from your presence, from your intention, like what Gerald mentioned earlier on, in your presence, be it quiet confidence coming from the inner part or your dressing, how you actually show up in respect to the other person's function, in respect to the person's occasion. Alright, I'm sure we won't dress up in red to a funeral, for example, right? And then you won't dress up with just slipper, short pants and all to weddings, especially a banquet. I mean, in certain weddings, it's so casual that you are welcome to actually dress up in any forms that you like. Or maybe it's about the resonance, alright? Then that's networking. The other part is on money. The other part is on the material part. So three parts: the health, the network, and the money. And all this thing put together is your net worth, who you are as a person, regardless of how much you have in your bank account, how much you have in your pocket. Because someone will actually come to you if they resonate with you, alright, in any form. It could be emotional resonance, it could be material resonance, it could be spiritual resonance, it could be anything. But what is it that's in you that you can actually offer, that you can actually give values, that you can actually benefit? Alright, so coming back to quiet confidence from the mindset perspective, from the personal development perspective, what do we need? And what are the core traits of quiet confidence?